welcome on in to what is round 5 at Mexico of the Mexican Grand Prix in Rush Racing League. This is qualifying, this is just the end of the outlap. It's our second attempt at doing a lap that is not invalid. And this race was interesting. But first, let's talk about what has happened thus far. Last time out in Singapore, we thought we were going to be going into Miami. But there was a bug at Miami, which meant that some people get into the pits, come out of the pits, a lap down, can't unlap themselves, creates chaos. So we are at Mexico. Same continent, different place. Make sense? Yes. Let's get into it. This race I had no practice as well, because, god damn it, I had to work 6 days. Well, I said I could work 6 days. So I had barely any practice. My best lap time was not great, but I was hoping that I was going to be in the front. At least I was hoping that. But going into this race, I had worked 3 days in a row. So I had no practice at all. But this is a Drivers' Championship going into this round. Bad races from us gets us into P17 in the Drivers' Championship. Terrible. Not too far off. 40 points. But meh. The constructors is even worse. We're in P8. Not great. We need to bounce back. And our first valid lap, was a 16.6. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. My bankers in my practice sessions that I had done, the little practice that I had done, were 16 flats. 16 ones, 16 twos. So getting 16.6 was not fun. But final lap, going to turn 1, it's a bit of a doozy. It's a bit of a doozy. Cause let's face it, right? Let's face the facts. I am 3/10 up here. Finishing the first sector. What do you expect? Nothing. No, I get a purple sector, which means I was on for challenging my teammate after the first sector. Going to this tricky corner, we're now 6/10 up. Like, god damn it, if I can finish this lap, I will be maybe on the front row, if not third row of the grid. So we're going to the final sector, and invalidation. This is basically being the race of my season. Like, this qualifying lap sums up my season. Small bottles, good pace, small bottles, getting pieces out. But going into this race, we had one main goal. Do not get into incidents. Don't go for risky overtakes and make it happen. Our teammate was on pole, so he was doing a great job. He just had to keep the lead off of pole and hope that the people around him were running higher wings. We're starting on the mediums, and we decided to go with one lap over on fuel. Nothing crazy. We get 5 red lights, we get started, we get an awesome launch. The best launch I've had all season. But we bog down into the second and third iteration. We don't use ERS because we don't want to risk too much. We hang back, we start at P17. The Aston Martin has an absolute nightmare, and the other Aston Martin decides to move over onto the Sauber, which moves over on us. Just a total racing incident, it's fine. We're in P17, didn't gain, didn't lose a front wing. So far, so good. We need to not doubt ourselves, because at this point I was already doubting I could fight for major points positions. Because one thing that has been interesting for me is strategy. I am able to make just about any strategy work. Extend the tire life? Let's go. Extend push? Forget the tires? That's where I slack. That's what we have to work on. The Sauber goes off track, we go through, no hesitation, just ERS. And into the final sector, we still try to hold on. The Ferrari ahead of us is just going for an overtake on Cross-Eye Gaming, and we decide, you know what, forget that. Let's accept the understeer. Let's keep going. Let's try to make it work. We increase our brake bias. We try to get an insane slingshot out of the final corner. Nothing happens. We get our first warning in lap 3 already, which is not great. We have a half look down this back straight. Decide against it. Too risky. And in the meantime, instead the Ferrari takes a risk on the Mercedes, and that risk does not pay off. And instead, our ability to judge that the first overtake was too risky, we get an amazing exit, which both the Ferrari and the Mercedes did not get. Now it's the moment to see if we have pace. We have some level of clean air. Can we drop the guys behind? We dump the ERS, we have DRS as well, and also down the next straight, because that's how this track works. You get 1 DRS detection for 2 DRS straights. So if we can do anything, we ride a runaway here and save some ERS in the middle sector of the lap. Just have to keep it clean into this section, because this is the most technical section of the track, which we do, and somehow we start catching the house up front, which means we have pace. We have genuine front runner pace here. People ahead of us are making incidents happen. They are struggling. The Alpine struggles ahead of us. We decide, okay, we do have overspeed. He is probably had an incident of some kind. Let's go around the outside. But as you can see, we did not have space outside, and instead the Ferrari, going opportunistic, decides to just tap us. We somehow keep it straight. Don't ask me how. I somehow kept it in a straight line, didn't lose too much time, and the pit stop happened. We try to hold on, but here we start sliding. That entire section where we got run wide overheated our tires. Tire wear on this track is absolutely atrocious. Something we realized very soon. Our tires were running hot. But one thing to keep in mind, there's a 2-second gap ahead of us, right? There's a 2-second gap. Our tires are absolutely shafted. But you know what's more shafted? The drivers ahead, they are also already struggling on their tires. Everybody is having monstrous tire wear. And this is where my ability to hold the tires gets in. We do get a warning. Okay. We are now on 2 warnings. We cannot get another warning or track limits at this point because we'll get a penalty. We try to hold out for as long as we can. But the one thing to keep in mind, our tire wear is incredible. Our ability to manage our tires is incredible. It has been. In terms of statistics, I have been in the top 10 for tire wear and tire management in the last 3 races. It's just been the outright pace and being caught up in incidents that has cost me points. And not having as many points as I could, like in Jeddah in the first round, which was our best racing position so far, which is P4. We have that pace still. And it's just a struggle at this point, because it's been a struggle all race. But one thing that has happened is that we're just gonna try and catch people ahead of us, and ahead people just keep having incidents. We're running in P12 now. There's another car sideways. It's all kicking off, and honestly, us keeping our nose clean has been a blessing. We're now in P11. Not bad. Starting P17, we're up to P11, which is incredible, actually, because we want to extend. And somehow, a few laps later, we've caught the Ferrari ahead, we've dropped the guys behind, but one thing to keep in mind, the Red Bull pitted in lap 8. Oh sorry, lap 6, lap 7, has already caught up to us and made up the pit stop gap. He's 9 seconds down on us. The undercut on this track is absolutely incredible here. And we're again holding out for issues that could happen ahead of us, because people are going to overtake each other. They're going to try. We just try to keep our nose clean, hold on to our life, hold on to dear life, and our teammate on lap 12 pits. We've extended these tires a bunch. He comes out right up behind us. Meanwhile, we overtake the Ferrari. And at this point, we communicate with our teammate.
Just so you know, Verb, if you get past ADOS, I'm letting you through.
Just to make sure that he has the opportunity, he didn't take the overtake happen. Instead, we pit the very next lap. Coming in lap 12, and now you'll see we went into the pits from P4. We will come out behind a bunch of drivers. We'll come out in basically no man's land, and we'll come out in P14. Absolutely wow, which becomes P15. Oh, sorry, it becomes P16 because of the fact that we just are still waiting for the tires to come into play. Someone pits. We're now in P15. We're going after this Sauber, who just absolutely no regard for us, squeezes off, but we just had so much straight line speed, it didn't matter. Lap 19, we try to go for an overtake on the Alpine that initially caused us to realize that tire wear is an issue that we need to manage. We didn't make it happen quite so easily, but instead there's 4 cars ahead of us. We need to keep it clean and just accept that we're not going to make it happen. But next lap, on the same corner, we decide, let's go for it. Let's make it work. And we do. We make it a clean overtake around the outside, keeping it clean. The Ferrari ahead of us is struggling. And a few corners later, we decide we need to take that opportunity to overtake, which turns out not the best idea, because the very next straight, he overtakes us. Which basically means we have problems. We need to now extend this stint as much as we can, because rain has been forecast between 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, not great. Instead, we take a look on Protein, but we decide against it, too risky. And he does pit that very lap, he does pit, and we come out wrong. While we keep going, while everyone else goes into the pits, and we are now in P6. We're running in P6, we just need to fight for positions. A lot of people have pitted twice. Turns out, 2-stop, probably the best strategy. Instead, we decide to extend and extend and extend. We start losing positions left, right, and center. First P7. Then we lose again P7 because that's how it works. Instead, we lose another position to Wrecker Ralph behind, who tries to make an overtake work on lap 29, which honestly, not easy. It's not easy to make it happen. We hug the inside, try to get some distance slipstream from Hennessy up front in the Red Bull, and we stick to the inside. We keep our line, we give him the space on the entry, and just about keep the position, still having DRS into the next straight somehow. And we hold on to the position, but not for long. Not for long enough. Because the next time around, lap 30, he overtakes us. And that fighting meant that Claire behind also has the overtake. So we lose 2 positions. We're now in P9. Here, my race engineer lets me know about something very interesting. I will probably lose positions. We decided to take a look at the strategy, maybe go into new mediums, which we don't have because we went on a harder compound strategy. Had we gotten the medium, we could have pitted to the mediums and really been rapid. Instead, we get dropped by the guys who pitted for a second time. They're now about 3 seconds up the road already, a lap later. They are pulling about 1.5 seconds a lap on me, which is insane. Because the guys behind are also catching. But one thing, silver lining, we're going to get at least P11 based on this position. based on the fact that we will lose positions to these guys behind, we'll get P11. Because there is so much to fight for. But the reason we're staying on for this entire lap 31 is the fact that a few corners later, we're seemingly catching by a massive margin. It's all because of fighting. These guys up front, these three up front, are fighting each other tooth and nail for P6, which brings us into contention. It brings us in, but crucially, it also brings the people behind us into position to gain positions on us as well. But how many? Into the main straight we go, and we have DRS, we have some ERS to play with, but we try to hang back a little bit, not spend too much ERS down this main straight, because we're gonna have DRS for the next straight anyway, because we got it already once. And a racing incident, and we get front wing damage. This ruins the race. Not our fault, not Claire's fault, not the fault of the house either. It's just a racing incident, I feel. Because of that, Claire DNFs, who's been having a terrible season actually, won the first race, had a DNF, then another DNF, then no points. It's been terrible for her. Lap 34, safety car comes in, and for the first time ever on Formula 1 games, I'm getting mad for throttle modulation. I can catch these guys, but the game is not allowing me to because I keep getting the game just braking, slowing down, not allowing me to go full throttle constantly, which does ruin our possibility to maybe get even more positions. We're down P13. We had a front wing change. It's not bad. We're still well into the points, but not nearly as many as we would hoped. But the final lap, end of the final lap here, fighting ahead yet again brings us into a position where P12 is very much possible, but the Sauer ahead of us has more penalties than we do, which means up to the final corner, to the line, we get P11. Somehow keeping the position, which means had we not gotten that damage, we could have actually gotten even better results. Unfortunate, really. Really unfortunate, because we could have gotten way better positions. But it is what it is. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And in terms of results, our teammate does end up winning. So across the 6 divisions of Rush Racing, there have been, every tier has had McLaren on a podium, bar one. It's truly an insane run of form. It's been interesting, it's been amazing, and with that, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff again. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, what you think. Do you think we could have done better? Do you think it's what I can improve? Let me know, give me some feedback, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and get out of here.